Hey guys, I'm Birdie and welcome back to my channel. This is LolCows. As always, these are only my personal thoughts, views, and opinions. Nothing I write, say, imply, or speculate on is factual. Everything on this channel is opinion-based only. I'm a flawed human, so my views may be flawed as well. I'm an expert in nothing, so please seek expert advice if you have questions. You hear that noise in the background? That's Greta. She is snoring, but she promises that she will not later withdraw her permission to let me use her snores in the background of this video. Oh my God, she's perfect. Okay. So today's video is going to be about something that has weighed heavily on my mind lately. And I think for a while, many people have seen the LolCows on one side and the reaction channels on the opposite side. And then there's us. We are the audience watching from the stands. But what happens now, because the LolCows are mixing in with some of the reaction channels and vice versa? And actually, I have to say this. In my opinion, I feel that Emily, who is potentially the truest threat and realest danger to GorlWorld, was invited in as a VIP, leash and all. Except Emily wasn't the one on it, she was the one holding it. So what happens when there's those who are so hell-bent on being webcam famous, so desperate to be a sensation, to be popular and wealthy, that they're willing to corrupt themselves for their fake fame? Because let's be real, this is GorlWorld. This is where pigs are supposed to fly and cows are supposed to wear lipstick. Horny, obese women are supposed to fake religion so they can cosplay being married in a foreign country, and where even the Door Dashers are not safe from Amber's BPD love. When I was reflecting on my reasons for wanting to make this video, I was thrown back to the patterns of watching a reaction channel or watching a LolCow and realizing that for the most part, they all block me. Now granted, in all fairness, I can get spicy at times. But I thought about all the times I was blocked or muted for honest, respectful criticism and for arguing something different. Just a different perspective than that of the channel creator. Around the time that I decided to create my channel, I had realized that many, if not most, reaction channels exist not to simply react, but to gradually indoctrinate viewers into seeing their opinions as obviously being right. But how many of us asked ourselves why? What makes the opinion of the reactors more credible than our opinions? Are they secretly strategic analysts? Are they sociological experts? Are they professors in a relevant field of critical thinking with a proven track record of truth over bias or transparency over popularity? And no, they're not. It's all a fake popularity based on a fake YouTube fame. When I was traveling back on a several hours long trip with my little pup Greta asleep on my lap and my husband was driving, I realized something. It dawned on me that I was wrong to think that the reactors became manipulative after they became popular. They actually became manipulative to become popular. There's a big difference in that. They preached from a place of supposed care or concern or a high moral standing. Then they practiced a completely different craft in the dark. They've never been better than us, but they've somehow managed to build brands based on propaganda and deception that says that they are. And you want proof? Just look at how they really feel about their audience. The signers of their checks, if we want to get down to it, when they think that no one is listening. And they don't even apologize. Some of them are just saying that their privacy was violated because they wouldn't have been a shitty person had they known others were listening. So they're not these same humble, down to earth, sweet people just sharing a view that's based on understanding or conviction. Oh no. It is an orchestrated plot to say what they think we want to hear with a splash of deception. So with a little word here and a tiny but deliberate switcheroo of context, without many of us even realizing it, we're eating out of their hands. We are defending their bullshit. And we're signing their checks, while from the pedestals that we built for them, they shit talk us. The only real transparency is within their cliques, where they laugh about the banknotes that they're getting off of our views. So just think for a moment about Amber and Emily, okay? I think collectively, as a group, it's safe to say that most of us would consider them to be greedy, manipulative, lying, deceptive. They are people who say and do whatever they believe will benefit them with popularity, attention, financial gain. They are hypocrites. They've been making a living out of being all the things that we were taught not to be. They scheme and plot, create drama, monetize it, and do everything that they can to come out on top at the end, whether they really won or not. That's never mattered. And if you forgot about who we were talking about, it wasn't about the reaction channels. It was about the LolCows. But I want for you to think now about the reaction channels that you watch, whether you like them or not. How many of the adjectives that I used above to describe Amber and Emily can you truthfully apply to that reaction channel? Because I can apply several of those to the ones that I've watched, especially recently. And it's because they're all playing the same game. Although they appear to be on opposite sides, if you will just climb higher into the stands, you will see that they are still in the same field. Side note, this may be triggering, so I'm going to give a trigger warning. I am going to talk about a couple things very, very quickly because I don't know. I just feel like I need to, and I feel like I have to. I'm going to be mentioning mistreatment and stuff like that. So if that's going to upset you or trigger you or harm you, skip ahead, and just don't listen to what I'm about to say, okay? But I still need to say this for anyone who might need to hear it. And this is about any reactor who has gotten any information from any source whatsoever that made a mockery of victims of any kind. It is a well-known fact that many of the watchers, the audience of GorlWorld, are survivors. There are so many who have survived so much. They've been hurt, physically and mentally wounded, and some have spent years, if not decades, recovering from the traumas inflicted on them by people who aren't worthy of a mention. But if a reactor obtains information at the cost of paying someone who is collectively accepted within this audience as being a known serious abuser, a death feeder, all while knowing that that payment is coming from the pockets of those viewers for watching, then they might as well just spit in our faces and in the faces of anyone who has ever survived an abuser or those who have fought for the victim's rights. It is sick, abhorrent. It is blind to the realization of the true harm and damage that it can cause victims, and it's fucking pathetic. And don't mistake this message as me being on a high horse, because I'm not. My feet are firmly planted on the ground, and I'm looking at this from all angles. It is never okay to claim that you are standing for victims in a room that you know is full of survivors, than to walk into another room and from behind a closed door collude with others and offer payment to someone, again, accepted within this community as being an abuser. How fucking dare you? Now let's get back on track. So many of the reactors don't give a damn about their audience further than the endorsement of the check. It's like their egos have gotten bigger than their justified importance. They, just like the LolCows, have crowned themselves. And this is why I'd like to figure out and piece together the puzzle, because I'm done being taken as a fool for their mockery and self-declared importance. Fame is fake, but the costs to us are real. And I'm going to use Rachel just as an example since the incident with her is both fresh and well known. She tried, in my opinion, to gaslight her audience into reconsidering that someone accepted within this community as being a death feeder is actually a decent person whom, despite their mistreatment of a known LolCow, was justified in it, at least in part. And at the risk of sounding like Amber, whom I'm accused of being at least once a week by a troll, what is actually happening? Or I could just say, is this even real life? Here's the problem though. When a should be stupid, funsy internet miniseries becomes people's full-time jobs, when the characters, large or small, start making choices that have a real impact or the potential to cause real harm in real life, then it does become serious. It's no longer just a funny game at that point. Let me use Eugenia as an example right now, okay? Because everyone knows who she is, and her issues, the ones that we see on her channel, have never really just been internet drama, because the obvious problem that she has is not only hurting herself, but its influence is causing real harm to others. This goes for the LolCows, and it's the same thing with some of the reactors. So, in conclusion, your opinion is just as good, if not better, than the ones who have tried to make you believe that their opinions are special and worthy of your following. Eyes wide shut, of course. And those receipts, the ones that I highly suspect will continue to leak like a pinhole in a pipe, just as much as what's on that receipt needing to come with a transparency disclaimer. The means in which it was retrieved apparently should come with a trigger warning. Now I know there will be a vast array of views on this one, but it's okay. Tell me everything. Right, wrong, good, bad, indifferent. Just let me know. Tell me your opinions and your thoughts. And now that more and more is coming out about those in the Discord, whether they spoke or not, keep in mind that those who remained in the Discord, who sat quietly until Charlie pulled the rug right out from under their feet, in my opinion, they do hold some level of complacency, because at the very least, they knew that viewers were being taken for fools and they stayed quiet, likely because they didn't want to speak out against something that they were doing in the background as well. But that's okay, because at the end of the day, it's just all silly internet collusion, right? I had to get this all off of my chest because it has become real life, and none of us ever asked it to. We never asked for someone to be invited in who supposedly has got blood on their hands. We never asked for that. We never asked for someone's pet to get sacrificed for some bullshit. We never asked for that. And I know some of you are going to say, you know what, Bertie, you don't have to watch. But with so many years of investment, at least from further away, I think most of us will. So please tell me, have you ever felt that a reaction channel has either gone too far into LolCow territory besides this last time, or if they've been hypocritical, or maybe even blocked you when you shared an unpopular view or opinion? If so, I want you to tell me why. And did you consider that someone not willing to hear you share your unique view isn't really worth your time hearing them share theirs? Has a reaction channel or a LolCow ever made you feel like they thought you were inferior? If so, did you say anything or did you just ignore it? Let me know in the comment section what you all think and let's talk about it. This is our space to talk about anything that we want to. We don't have any limits here. And please don't troll or rage bait, but speak freely and let's all respect the opinions of others, because we could have all opinions in this, okay? Everybody could feel something different because we're coming from different places. Okay, so I'll be back soon, and I hope that you all have a safe and wonderful day. Bye for now.